he was having sex and accidentally went live, and for the whole world to hear. I'm gonna give it to you. I ain't gonna repeat the whole thing. Yeah, that's my Michelle. But anyway,
I was like, why
he went live. Here's the thing, though. These kind of things happen.
No, sir. Man, podcast time, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Indie Unplugged. Let's give a moment of silence for Tito Jackson, man.
For sure.
Like, I saw that today. Man, a lot of so my wife and I, not to kind of start it on a
somber
note, right? We were talking the other day when James Earl Jones died.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, people die every day. Thousands of people die every day.
For sure.
But stuff like this are the notables, right? The people who have, it's in the public eye, who we look up to in some type of way, whether it's from an artistry perspective, music perspective. Like we lost a lot. Not when I say a lot, I mean I'm just saying, it's more than 5 musicians, artists, actors this week, and just the news of Tito Jackson, absolute legend.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Co-founder of the Jackson 5, just absolute legend. 70 years old.
Yeah, 70 seems kind of young, It seems kind of young. But, I mean, what's life expectancy? What, 75? Something like
70.
that? 70?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Did it go down?
70, 73, something like that?
Yeah, I thought it was like 74 somewhere in there.
Yep.
Sheesh, man.
And James Earl Jones was what, 93?
93, I think, yeah.
I need to live to like I'm 93. Real.
I think that's like the limit for me to cut off.
Yeah.
It depends on how I can move around.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't move around that good, you just take me at 93, 94, I don't want to be just barely. Let's take me on the glory to the next phase.
Take me to glory.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, not to start it on a somber note, but I think, Tito was an absolute pioneer.
Oh, for sure.
Absolute legend.
Sure.
And I think one of the things that I saw, I don't want to say it was disheartening, but I understand why it was done. Because the statement says Tito Jackson, brother of Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it, right? Michael is the most famous one out of the entire family.
Yeah.
But to say Tito Jackson, the brother of Michael Jackson.
Outside the culture, the casual wouldn't even really know it unless you said Michael Jackson.
Right. That's probably true.
Those who are in the urban community or the quote unquote, have we defined culture yet?
Not really.
Those in the culture.
Not really.
Culture, but even within the culture, a lot of these kids don't know Tito Jackson. They barely know Michael Jackson, to be honest with you.
They barely know. How could you not know Michael Jackson? His music is worldwide one of the most impactful artists ever to live. Like,
yeah, arguably the most impactful artist. Arguably.
And how do you not know who this man is? But just want to give a moment of silence to, and actually we ain't been silent yet. So, but yeah, Tito Jackson, man. I remember watching. Can you feel it? Dun, dun, can you feel it? Dun, dun, can you feel it?
That's Tito in there singing?
Well, it's a Jackson 5.
Well, no, I'm saying, I know Michael sings his verse, but I thought that was Jermaine that started the song. Was it Tito? To sing the first verse?
I think it was Michael saying the first verse.
Michael didn't sing the first verse. Michael came. He came in the second verse.
I think it was not Tito.
I thought it was Jermaine.
I think it was Jermaine. But when I hear that song, boy,
it's funny because that's probably the song I play the most out of the Jackson 5. Mm-hmm. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
Man, and I love the Jackson 5. Like you,
I've been playing that song a lot in 2024. By the way, can you feel it? It's funny you said that.
Yeah,
you said that.
To me, that's when they got together for that Jackson.
That's such a 70s beat too. Doom, 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 doom.
Man, when they got back for the Jackson reunion, oh my goodness.
Well, you know, it's funny. We were talking about that TV show on the NSYNC and the
Backstreet Boys
about Lou Pearlman. You said
yeah, Dirty Pop. I started watching it the other day.
Well, it's a section in there. Lou Pearlman was kind of behind that reunion that happened on September 10th. Not this.
See, I didn't get to that part.
Spoiler alert! But
I didn't get to that part yet.
Yeah, because you know, remember the thing about it, 9/11, and rest in peace to all the victims of 9/11. We just had 9/11 last week. You know, what I'm saying always going to acknowledge that important day in our history. But
sure,
what people don't remember, and I didn't even remember this, was on September 10th at Madison Square Garden. The Jacksons reunited for a concert. Yeah,
Word?
A big concert.
Wow.
It was a big deal for a few hours until September 11th happened. But Lou Pearlman was behind that.
Wow.
Again, spoiler alert, but Michael Jackson was coming off that trial with the kids molestation trial, with which he was found not guilty. He was acquitted.
That's right.
And they came to Lou Pearlman for advice on how to and he's like, look, you need to do a reunion with your brothers. You need to do a reunion, a big concert, and he was kind of behind that, and they had a big concert, and it was dope. Except 9/11 happened the next day. But they were showing the footage from that concert, and it's funny, Lou Pearlman, to make things full circle. You know, we were talking about last week.
Wow.
But yeah.
And I didn't even hear that the Jacksons had a concert.
You probably heard it then a little bit, but like I said, 9/11
but if I did, 9/11 completely overshadowed it.
Yeah, but it was the night before, and it's September 10th.
Wow.
You know. I forgot about it, but when he mentioned it, I do remember when they reunited, and it was a real big deal leading up to it. The whole Jackson 5 going to reunite, and it was kind of funny because, okay, Mike, you get in trouble now. You want to come back to the niggas. Now you want to come back over here to us now, right? You know, remember he had the Nation of Islam bodyguard him. He was dancing on top of the cars, hiding in the trees. You know, all this weird stuff going on. And now it's over. You want to come back to your brothers now. You want to come back to the brothers.
That's right.
But it was a good show, apparently. You know, from what they showed online. But yeah, Lou Pearlman was behind that whole thing, and then September 11th happened. But yeah,
man,
I just thought
I didn't even know that.
But I'm gonna Google though. I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna Google. I want to know who sang them.
I want to know
who. Feel it?
Yeah, who was the first? To kick the song off? But yeah, man, there's a lot to talk about. A lot has happened. There's a lot has happened within just the music space, and I just kind of want to point some of those things out and talk about it from an independent perspective, right?
And it was Randy, by the way. Randy Jackson sang that.
Oh, he did? Was it Randy?
Yeah, it was Randy. According to Genius, I trust Genius. Genius is the authority. Yeah. And they said Randy Jackson sang the first one.
He's the baby, right?
I don't even know the order, man.
Yeah, I think Randy.
I thought Michael was the baby.
Nah, really? Randy. Yeah. I think Randy's the youngest out of the.
Oh man,
dang man, you gonna have to go look this up, man. I thought it was Randy though. Look, that's why we got call Google, right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Is it? Dun, dun, dun. Randy Jackson was the youngest of the Jackson brothers who were in the group, the Jackson 5, but he was not an original member. But they brought him in.
Okay.
Yep. Randy Jackson. They brought him in. So.
Didn't know that.
Yep. Good old Randy. Randy Jackson. But
can you feel it?
Dun, dun, can you? Man, I love that song. Like I love a lot of the Jackson 5 songs and a lot of them. Like if you look at my collection over there, I don't have any Jackson 5 albums yet. I got Off the Wall over there. I got Thriller over there, and I have Bad sitting in my album collection because those albums were just amazing. Yeah. But okay, so a lot happened, right?
A lot happened.
Man, we got. Okay, let's talk about the first one.
Okay.
The whole Kendrick NFL Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right? The announcement came out.
Yeah.
That Kendrick's going to be performing at the Super Bowl. All the discussion around who makes the determination of who, performs at the Super Bowl. Right. A lot of different artists came out and, voiced their opinions about.
A lot of them had bad, negative opinions about it. Nicki Minaj, Juvenile, Master P, Birdman. That's just off the top of my head who I could think of. But a lot of folks were upset that Lil Wayne didn't get denied, to perform there. And Lil Wayne himself put a statement out saying he was disappointed in how bad he felt.
Right.
think he said it was a punch to the gut or
It
something
was
like
a
that.
punch to the gut. He said it hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Hurt a lot.
And there was a previous interview within like the last couple of years where they showed Lil Wayne being asked about the Super Bowl being held in New Orleans and how he felt about it. And he said he hadn't got a call yet, but he was looking forward to
Right.
it, So he was looking forward to it, but it just goes to show you, man, if I'm Lil Wayne, who's to stop you from doing your own show at halftime? Even though you competing against Kendrick Lamar, or maybe do one the day before or something. Or, people were saying Kendrick Lamar can always bring him out.
That's true too.
Because artists have a history of bringing out special guests. Like I think Katy Perry brought out Missy Elliott, I think.
I think so.
And Maroon 5 brought out, did they bring out Big Boy and Sleepy Brown a couple years ago?
Maroon 5?
In Atlanta? Somebody
they probably did.
Somebody was at Super Bowl when it was in Atlanta. And everybody was mad because no Atlanta artist was headlining it. But I think whoever it was, I thought it was Maroon 5, they brought out Big Boy and Sleepy Brown to perform.
Okay. I mean, bottom line is, who makes the decision, right? Like, what is that decision-making process to determine if the Super Bowl is coming to your city? Who makes the determination on who performs? What is the criteria that is in place to say, here are the artists that we are looking for to perform at the Super Bowl, right? I think a lot of it goes into it, things like marketability and timing and, just where they may be at the moment, right? Kendrick's hot at the moment.
Well, you got to ask Roc Nation, because one thing we know for sure is that Roc Nation was hired a few years ago to be in charge of it. But it's a little murky as to, do they have the final say or do they just bring it to the NFL for the? Because I'm assuming that the NFL has the final say at the end of the day. I'm assuming that like if you hire a consulting company to do something for you,
right,
you still got to make a decision on it because you're the boss. They're your client, or other way. Someone
they're the. If I am hiring an external consultant,
NFL is the client. And Roc Nation, the client has to approve. Right. So
I got to still approve it.
So
you can tell me.
It ain't like they got their hands tied and they can't veto it.
That's true.
If they want to.
But I think they've given Roc Nation autonomy to determine who is going to perform, right? I don't think that's the NFL's, that's in their wheelhouse, right? To be able to make music talent decisions. I think they leave it up to the people who are really good at doing that and that have the experience in understanding who is going to draw in the biggest crowds, right? And right now, Kendrick is going to draw in the biggest crowd. He, of course, the feud between him and Drake, the stellar song, Not Like Us, right? He's hot right now. Pop-out concert. He is on fire. So you put a person who's on fire at that moment, at that time, to perform at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and it was confirmed today by Jesse Collins, who's an executive producer of the Super Bowl. He's been an executive producer for several years. He confirmed that Jay-Z himself picked the performer Kendrick Lamar this year.
See?
So it's been confirmed by one of the EPs of the Super Bowl that it was Jay-Z and Roc Nation that actually made the pick, because there was some fuss going on saying, no, Jay-Z don't pick. The city picked. I'm thinking to myself, that don't make no sense.
Me? Oh my God.
Because what is Roc Nation doing there?
Right.
Do they give a short list and you pick? So I hear what you're saying, though, but trust me, if they pick somebody that didn't fit the NFL's brand, NFL ain't going for it.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that's neither here nor there. But now that we know, like, that Jay-Z picked, how do we feel about it? Do we think it's fair that Lil Wayne is not performing? Or isn't the headline performer? Is that right? Is that fair? Is it, how do we feel about that? You know what I'm saying?
I guess the question is there any type of reasoning behind why? And I don't know, right? What was his decision-making process? Why did he decide to go with Kendrick versus Lil Wayne? Right?
It has to be because he's hot this year. It has to be.
It has to be because he's super hot.
Because Kendrick, to me, as amazing as Kendrick is, like, outside of Not Like Us, he hadn't had a big commercial hit record in a minute. What was his last commercial hit record?
Well, the statement was, according to to people. It was
But when was Lil
Yeah.
Wayne's last commercial record too? His last big commercial hit.
Oh,
See, see. There you go. So,
I mean, now I'm sure other people can tell us, right? I'm sure. Like I
but
got a friend who's a Lil Wayne fanatic.
The fact
like,
that we can't roll it off our tongues, should take, at least for me, because I follow. I'm not the biggest, chart export encyclopedia, but
right.
I could tell you a
Right.
ballpark. You know what I'm saying? And it's been a minute.
I mean, I can tell you what I like. Right.
But
I can tell you what
I'm
I
talking
like
about something
from.
that moved the needle. Right now, Kendrick, not like us, is still in the top 10 in the Billboard Hot 100 and has been since like May. The whole summer, it's been number 1 for several weeks.
Yep.
Number 2, number 3, number 7, and it's been number 10 for two weeks now. It won't leave the top 10.
Yep.
So it's a huge moment. So yeah, I mean, now when you add that to the fact that Kendrick is just a cultural icon, Pulitzer Prize winner, multiple Grammy Award winner. I think he has over 10 Grammys.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it.
I get it. I mean, that's what Jay-Z's comment was. Kendrick Lamar is a true once in a generation artist and performer. His deep love for hip hop and culture informs his artistic vision. He has an unparalleled ability to define and influence culture globally. Kendrick, there's that word again, culture. Kendrick works transcends music, and his impact will be felt for years to come. Now, so the question is, can you not say that about Wayne?
Yeah. I think that how they had Dr. Dre do it by committee with Mary J. Blige, Snoop, Eminem, and Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? How they did that, I think you could do that with like New Orleans, with like Lil Wayne. Shoot, Lil Wayne had Young Money, Nicki Minaj, and Drake. You know what I'm saying? You throw in a little Tiger here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're throwing Hot Boys.
Yeah, Hot Boys. I mean, so I mean, or you could just, because I just think when they did the whole medley with the Dre thing, that set a new standard where, because you didn't have just Dr. Dre and friend, you had you said the names Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige, and it was so anticipated.
Right.
And now you just got Kendrick Lamar. And last year, who was it last year? Was it Usher?
Usher. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I still think Usher was the best performance.
Usher's performance was dope.
Usher's performance might be the best one they ever had. Top 3 at least.
Oh yeah, I would say at least top 3.
It might be arguably the best one.
Because Mike, but his Super Bowl performance was ridiculous.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Mike wasn't skating on skates.
He was not skating on skates. He had
the whole team skating on skates.
He can just do it by himself. And like my brother can float just by himself.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know. I might have to get it out to Usher, man, as far as best performance. And then Prince, I think, is up there too. With the Purple Rain, and then it started raining.
Oh man, right? Like you couldn't ask for nothing better than that, right?
Oh my goodness, man.
But I think some of the lessons that's important for independence is how Lil Wayne handled it, right? He could have handled it. He could have came out and been upset and angry and went at Jay-Z, went at Kendrick, and went at the NFL. But I think he showed a side of humility, right, and resilience. And I think that's what people have to understand is the fact that there are opportunities that exist, and sometimes you may not be the person that is chosen for those opportunities, and how you deal with it impacts how people perceive you, right? Perceive your brand, perceive you as an individual. It all depends on how you handle it. So like one of the things we do as hiring managers in like the corporate world is, let's say somebody didn't get a position, right? We also take note on how that person accepted hey, you didn't get this position. How do they deal with that, right? Do they deal with it with humility and resilience? Do they come back and say, hey, okay, I understand that I didn't get the position this time. What can I do to be better when that position comes open the next time, or opportunities present themselves again? How can I grow and develop? And I think even for Lil Wayne, he said that. He said it for himself. He said, now I'm gonna go back and make some songs and make better songs and do things at a higher level and just really focus and, be the best that I can be. And I think that's what it is. I think when artists have the ability to face situations like this, how do they then deal with it? Because they may be, hey, I may choose you versus over this person. How are you going to deal with it as someone who didn't get picked for that situation? Competition is out there, and it's how you deal with the competition and the rejection that makes you stronger as a human being, as an artist. There's going to be politics, right? I mean, that's kind of what's happening right now, is understanding that, yes, Jay-Z and his team are the people who are behind actually picking. I mean, it was the same thing with 50 Cent, right? I don't think it was 50 Cent. I think it was Eminem. Did Jay-Z not want Eminem to perform at the Super Bowl? Or was it 50 Cent?
The rumor, it's never been confirmed, but it's never been denied either. They said the rumor was Eminem wanted 50 Cent.
50 Cent.
And Jay-Z didn't want 50 Cent.
Right.
And Eminem wouldn't perform without 50 Cent. And of course, they're not going to lose Eminem. So they allow 50 Cent to come perform.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the rumor they've been running with. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? We're on the outside looking in. You know what I'm saying? But I'll say this, though, man. Lil Wayne, handling himself with class, even though he did get criticized. They said that he never congratulated Kendrick Lamar. In his little video, he didn't say congrats to Kendrick. That's neither here nor there. You don't got to, what is he, Kendrick's daddy or somebody?
Right. I mean, does he have to congratulate him?
He don't have to, but people want him to congratulate Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying?
I think he has to.
But I feel like as independent artists going into this thing, you got to control what you can control. You know what I'm saying? And being picked for something is out of your control. Who cares? Like, if you got your core fans, just keep feeding your fans. There's a festival that Lil Wayne does every year in New Orleans. It's coming up very soon. And he has confirmed the Hot Boys reunion in there. You know what I'm saying?
He did.
And it's going to be a crazy festival. I think it's called the Louisiana. Yeah, something like that. It's coming up really soon. I think before the Super Bowl. So,
that mug is going to be packed.
Yeah, and I mean, like, that's yours. Make that your Super Bowl. Make that, like, put that up on a pedestal. Because in life, things will always disappoint you. People will disappoint you. People will let you down. Institutions will let you down. You might be at a job, not getting promoted. Control what you can control, and that's the beauty of having your own thing, your own platforms, your own outlets. You know what I'm saying? Your own fan base, your own whatever, your own email list. You know what I'm saying? Just control what you can control and stop sweating what you can't control.
That's right. So, in the 7 habits of highly effective people, we talk about that circle of influence, circle of concern, right? And I've learned over the years that if you focus on the things that are in your circle of concern, that circle is going to grow.
Okay.
Right. And you're going to minimize your circle of influence, the things that you actually have influence and control over. Because what you put your focus to grows, right? So if I'm always focusing on the things that I can't control and putting my time and energy and effort there, well, I got to make them see me a certain way, or I have to do this a certain way, or if I just need to get into here because, then if those are things you can't control and you start to focus on those, you are diminishing the areas where you actually have control over. So you're absolutely right. You got to focus on the areas that you actually have influence over. Does Lil Wayne control who, or Kendrick, or anyone control who is selected for the Super Bowl? No. But what can they do? They can focus on themselves as an artist. They can create great music. They can focus on their branding, right? And their marketing and putting out, great music and doing those types of things, right? Building effective relationships. Those are the things that they can do, that they have actually direct influence and control over. And then based upon that, they can go, oh, we want that person. We see they're making moves and impacting areas and doing things. And that's why they chose Kendrick. Because right now, my man is smoking high.
He is smoking high.
And that is why people want him. But I've heard people say, I think y'all gonna be disappointed. I don't think his concert is gonna be that dope. But I mean, if it's like the pop out,
yeah,
it's probably gonna be like the pop out though.
Yeah, and I mean, like, well, here's the thing: will the masses appreciate it? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a big Kendrick fan. I literally saw Kendrick before he blew up in concert here in Atlanta. This is before Good Kid, Mad City came out. This is off of Section 80. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I went to that concert and was blown away. Like I think Swimming Pool. Good Kid, Mad City came out like a couple months later, and I think Swimming Pools was out. The first single was out from that album, but he did all his songs from Section 80, man, and it was just amazing. And then I saw him about a year later. I actually met his engineer, Ali, Mixed by Ali. Yeah, that's what gave us the tickets. My homeboy, my boy Jay Hush, producer out of Chicago. I think his family member was in the band or whatever. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I've met. Oh, you Ali? Wow, well, he's cool, but real nice guy. Anyway, I saw him after Good Kid, Mad City, and it was still like. And I thought to myself, it was at the Tabernacle. I said, he ain't gonna be in these venues much longer. He gonna be in, and of course, he came the next time to the arena out in Gwinnett. I didn't go to that, but now he's been doing arena since then. But Kendrick can perform, but the thing about it is, how well do you know his catalog? Because at the pop out, I knew all those songs.
I knew all those songs at the pop out,
like Element, Mad City.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, but is the world gonna know that? I don't know. He might have to bring out Rihanna for the one song they got together. Because like the Damn album, when he did drop Damn, that was my least favorite Kendrick album. But I think it had the most commercial success. Because he had the one with Rihanna on there.
Yeah.
He had Be Humble on there. You know what I'm saying? My DNA was on there. A lot of them were like bigger records. I know Be Humble was big. And the Loyalty with Rihanna was real big.
Loyalty, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
loyalty,
he may have to pull some of those out. He may have to bring out Maroon 5 or Taylor Swift for those collabs. I mean, he may have to. He probably won't because Drake was clowning him for it.
Right.
Drive It, Give Me 50, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But, I mean, again, for the masses, though, he may have to because I don't know if the masses are going to appreciate Kendrick the way we appreciate Kendrick.
The culture does.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
What if Kendrick bring out Drake? He's not though. I'm just saying.
That ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen. But somebody I forgot who it was. They were like, well, what if he does? What if secretly he just brings him out and they make amends at that time?
That'd be crazy.
I was like, yo, wait a minute.
That's what I was hoping. This is a side note. It had nothing to do with nothing, but that's what I was hoping after Dre did with Game and 50. I was hoping because they had 50 Cent there doing In the Club. And, Game was in the club video, you know what I'm saying, dancing, and it was the perfect opportunity to just kind of make peace with them and all that. And then Game got mad and went crazy and all that stuff, man. But I understood where he's coming from, even though I don't agree with how he handled it at all. But I understood he should have kind of been up there. But anyway, that would have been a cool moment to make peace. But I doubt if you're gonna see Kendrick and Drake on there. Right. But you know what? I think it'll be dope though.
It would be dope.
I don't know if Drake would do it though, because after you publicly beat me, I'm not about to. He might do it though, because my thing about Drake, man, and I'm all for peace, love, and unity, right? But I had a hard time with Drake, piecing it up so easily with Meek Mill after Meek Mill tried to destroy your career. Meek Mill leaked your ghostwriting tapes.
He did.
That's like something you still can't live down. And I ain't want to be I might be cool with you as far as we can shake hands, but I'm never gonna be seeing you publicly after you tried to do that to me. I can forgive you, you could be cool, but publicly stay away from me because you tried to humiliate me. Right. So if Drake gonna shake hands with Meek Mill and do songs and I'll be, hug Meek Mill, anything is possible because this dude tried to destroy your career and you cool with him. So
hey, maybe they came to an understanding. I don't know.
I mean, Kendrick did call him a pedophile.
He did. And certified pedophile,
and said OVO to OVO. So he did. Them are some pretty.
That's some pretty strong words right there.
Words.
I actually think Kendrick just does not like him. So I don't think there's any. And it's so crazy, right? Because they did a whole bunch of stuff together.
They did Poetic Justice together.
Yeah.
Kendrick was on that tour with Drake. Drake took him on tour early on. Yeah. So I mean,
so something had to happen in that relationship between those two, where you just don't like this guy no more. I just hate you. I think he's I hate this guy, man. What has to happen in your relationship between one another where you have that type of emotion for the other person?
I don't know, man.
Man.
But I will say that that would be dope.
It would be dope. Though.
And I think that Kendrick is so tight-lipped about stuff, and Kendrick is so calculated about stuff. It wouldn't surprise me if some kind of spin was, taking place to where
I doubt it though.
Because at the end of the day, as a fan, you know, I love unity and people coming together. I don't like beef,
right,
and all that stuff and all that ignorance. You know what I'm saying? I like love and unity, and I think as a country we need more unity because I mean, you know, with this political climate going on, man, and everybody just going crazy. You saw Elon Musk tweet.
I did not.
Elon Musk tweeted. Now apparently he deleted it today. He left it up for like 2
He
days.
always
though.
puts up stuff and deletes it.
He tweeted something to the effect of like he said something about, but yet allegedly there was some kind of assassination attempt on Trump again.
Yeah.
And I'm still wondering is it some of this stuff conspiracy? Is this being set up to just make him look like a hero? I don't know. Because he is doing bad, I think, in the debates and stuff. He's looking bad out here. But yeah, Elon talking about why they never try to kill Kamala and Biden. You know what I'm saying? He literally tweeted that.
Like, why would you even want that to happen?
So man, I might delete my Twitter, man. My ex. I might delete it, man.
Why would you even want that to happen? Why would you even want to say something like that to even?
Again, man, I'm not telling y'all who to vote for, man. Vote for whoever you want. It's cool. If you got your reasons, I respect it. Cool, but the disrespect, to wishing somebody, because I even corrected somebody. I made a whole video about it. I didn't post it. I might post it one of these days. I made a video the other day. Rest in peace to Frankie Beverly.
Yeah,
Frankie Beverly and Maze. Amazing talent we lost. I grew up on Frankie Beverly and Maze. On his post, this girl typed, oh no, Lord, why not Trump instead? You know? Yeah. I click her profile. Her profile says positive energy only.
That ain't
on her profile.
What's positive about that?
She said something else on there about love and something. And it's like we gotta stop all this hate.
Here's the deal.
Wishing death on people on either side.
Here's the deal. It's only positive and love and energy and peace when you agree with what I say. When it fits the mold of what I believe or what I am involved in, then it's all love and peace and joy and happiness.
We got to learn to have constructive conversations because obviously we have different viewpoints about what's best for the country.
Right.
But if we all want what's best for the country, we should be able to have a difference of opinion with respect because you never know. We don't know everything, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to vote. Somebody going to get office. The three branches of government are going to do their thing.
Do their thing.
And the laws are going to come out and we're going to see it. We're going to revisit it and we're going to debate again next year. And the next year, we're going to figure this thing out. And we're going to try to get to a more perfect place where we can live, in harmony with our rights and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But all this hate is defeating the purpose.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a hateful person, what's the purpose of getting laws passed if you're going to be just an evil, hateful person?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think that applies into everything, whether it's music, whether it's politics, whether it's it's talking about the beef and having issues with others. And I get it, right? That's supposed to be the culture of hip hop. It was, the bravado and, built upon that type of foundation. But I think, and we haven't even gotten to that yet, but that's part of this conversation. Because I want to talk about, since we're on the topic of Kendrick, we can just talk about it since we're already on that topic, right?
Watch the party die, let the party die.
Watch the party die.
Yeah.
Right. That was the latest. What killed me though was the picture of the black Air Force Ones though.
Yeah, beat up black Air Force Ones.
Beat up ones he was working.
Yeah.
Because we know what black Air Force Ones stand for. We see somebody with that, we're like, oh nah.
You want to hurt somebody?
What you want me to do? What?
Yeah.
I'm always looking at people's shoes, especially if what kind of shoes you got on? Black Air Force Ones? Nah, I'm not messing with him. No ma'am, no sir.
Right.
And so to post that up, beat up with the song, watch the party die. A lot of people thought it was shots at Drake.
And for the record, for y'all that don't know, Kendrick Lamar put this on his official Instagram page. The song is not out on DSPs as of this recording, but it is out. Well, actually, somebody ripped it and put it on YouTube. It's on YouTube now. Somebody ripped it and put it on YouTube.
I saw it on YouTube.
But on his actual Instagram page, the whole song is there, and it's a picture of some black Air Force Ones with the audio, with the whole 3 minutes, whatever song is playing. So just
for sure. Thanks for giving the context. So when it came out, I listened to it.
Me too.
I was like, oh,
played it twice.
Man. I think I played it twice back to back because I wanted to hear it first. right? Okay, wow. I love the instrumentation, right?
Nice. It's like a sample.
Not yeah. I'm 100% sure it's a sample,
And I think we still don't
right?
know
Like
who produced it. I think the producer information wasn't released.
I didn't think
And
I
we
see.
still don't know.
Right, right.
I think Elliot Wilson asked the question who produced the song.
Kendrick did. I don't know.
Who knows, man?
Kendrick is the producer. And then I listened to it again because I wanted to actually hear what he was talking about. And I heard a couple of things in there. You know, and one of the things I heard, I mean, he was talking about a lot of different things, right? The importance of staying true to your values, you know, the commercialization of music, the destruction of, you know, the Black culture. He was talking about so much in this song. I was like, man. And then he, of course, he mentioned Lecrae. He mentioned D1.
What will Lecrae do?
What will Lecrae do?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you know, well, he talked about D1, and you know, and I've always listened to the positive messages that D1 put out, even though sometimes he has put out other things that were kind of like, okay, why are you putting that out at that moment, at that time? You know, and Joe Budden, I don't even talk about Joe Budden and the whole thing of the hate he has for D1 or the dislike he has for D1. Because he absolutely wouldn't show that disrespect to, you know,
a street dude,
a Nation of Islam dude, like, or a Muslim dude, You know, and I think what rubbed me the wrong way was as a believer myself, was he was like, this Christian dude, and I was like, yo, that's crazy, bro. Like, hold up. And just the way that he was attacking D1. But anyway, that's a different thing. But
Joe Budden is a professional hater.
Professional.
That's like his stick is to be a hater.
Professional hater.
So unfortunately, he was a great rapper, and he's a great podcaster. Oh yeah, don't get that twisted.
Great rapper though?
Oh yeah, he was great. Yeah, he was great. You don't think so? Let's get you on record, Brian. Joe Budden was not a great rapper.
And in context of
skill, MC skill.
Royce is better than Joe.
Yeah, but that's Royce. Come on, like Royce is better than 99% of
Royce
rappers.
Is better. Royce is in my top 5 still.
But Joe Budden was in the group with Royce and was going bar for bar with him. Yeah. Now, and let's just say, I will say this.
Yeah, bar for bar?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
With Royce? Bar for bar with Royce?
Bar.
I think he was okay. He hung with Royce. I'll give him that.
Of course. Listen,
Slaughterhouse. I give him that.
Joe Budden is on Royce's caliber. Royce is better than Joe Budden, but not by like as much as you're trying to say. Listen, let's just keep it real.
I don't think it's handled with fit.
I'll say this too. If you rank Slaughterhouse, Joe Budden is last. Slaughterhouse out of the 4. But that's not saying he whack though, because they're dope. I'm gonna give you
the. Wait, how many rappers were in Slaughterhouse?
4, and I'll rank them. Royce and Crooked are like neck and neck. I'm gonna give Royce the slight edge. Barely, because Crooked is crazy. I'm gonna give Royce a slight edge of a Crooked, and then put Joel Ortiz a little bit below them, because they in a class of their own.
Yeah,
Royce and Crook are in a class of their own.
Yes, sir.
Go down a little bit is Joel, and then right under, like literally a hair under Joel.
They ain't on the same level.
Is Joe Budden.
They ain't on that same level.
No, but they all.
You ain't better than Joe.
No, but
Joel. Nah.
They all in this sphere of amazing MCs. Joe Budden is in this sphere with all of them. He might not be at the core of the center. I would agree with that. But Joe Budden is nice. Don't play with Joe Budden's skill. I would agree with that. Joe Budden was a monster on there.
I agree with that.
He was a monster. And that's why I kind of like, I get a little my feelings about him, because it's like, bro, you were a dope rapper who quit because you didn't have success. So you quit, and now you want to criticize rappers.
Yep.
You couldn't be successful on your own, so you quit. And now you want to be a critic here. He
found that his skill set was better in criticizing versus dropping.
And it's, like I said, bars. It's a shame, because as far as a pure rap, and the thing about it is, pure rappers, they don't get the love that they're supposed to.
True. I agree with that.
But you see, that's why, like, I feel like, not to talk about Diddy too much, but Diddy was one of the greatest ever, because Diddy, listen.
Greatest what?
Executives, producers, moguls in hip hop ever.
I think you say rapper.
Oh, he didn't rap. No, but he was better than a rapper. I'm gonna tell you why he's better than a rapper. Because listen, my favorite MC of all time is 2 MCs tied. One you never heard of before, Rap and Ron. That's from the West Coast, and Big L. Big L is like my number 1 guy.
Bruh.
I'm gonna tell you this, okay? The only difference between Big L and Notorious B.I.G. was a Puff Daddy. It was a P Diddy.
Yep.
the same rappers. As a matter of fact, if you listen to Big L's first album and Biggie's first album, they use a lot of the same samples, right? And shout out to my boy Lord Finesse, to Buck Wild did some of the album, Buck Wild, Diamond D. A lot of their stuff was boom bap, but Diddy used them same samples, and like it had Biggie just sounding just radio ready, like the same samples. Okay, the bar sample, for, you know what I'm saying, for One More Chance. A lot of the same samples.
I think it was a sauce from Biggie.
The Isley Brothers. No, it was Diddy. It was P. Diddy developing Biggie. Biggie would have been another Big L, another legendary MC on the underground, but Diddy was the difference. I'm telling you, I studied this stuff. Diddy, and I came to the conclusion, it's my opinion, that Diddy was the difference between Big L and Biggie in terms of like, and he's a genius. He took Craig Mack, you know what I'm saying? Like, he took these rappers, man, and he took rappers that had bars and made them stars. I know that kind of corny rhyme, but
bars
he took
stars.
Because
I'd agree.
All them rappers that had bars, the Foo Snickens, you know what I'm saying, the Brand Nubians, you name them. Lords of the Underground, they had a ceiling because they were just these lyrical miracles. They had a ceiling, but Diddy took them same rappers. Mace was a lyrical miracle genius, but he turned into Mace because of Diddy.
Murder Mace, though.
Yeah, that's my point. But Diddy polished them off, polished them up, and put them up there.
I did. Why your girl overlooking at me?
Come on, man.
The girl standing here. That was my jam, bro. That was my song.
The Lox fought it. The Lox is one of my top 3 favorite groups of all time. Top 5. But they fought against it. They didn't want to do the Chinese suits. They fought against it, so they had to leave.
I mean, but
my point though is that
Diddy in Chinese suits.
Diddy did that, man. Because Big L is my favorite, and I wish he was bigger, but he didn't have. If he had Diddy, he would. You know, and shout out to DITC, you know what I'm saying? Dig it in the crates, you know what I'm saying? You know, but that was more boom bap, more underground, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Diddy polished it up. I don't even know how we got on the subject. We're talking about something that brought that out. That made me want to say that. But like, and for all y'all, we're talking about bars. Because here's the thing. In 2024, lyricism and substance needs to come back in music. But we can't forget about the fact that you got to make it sound good to the people. You got to make it sound good and make it playable and make it replayable. So we need like the next Diddy minus the sexual deviance, minus the creepiness, minus just the filthiness. We need somebody with that attitude though that can take rappers who can rapidly rap and polish them up. I mean, and bring them to the masses so they can have success. So we can stop having this garbage to our kids, because our kids are growing up thinking that little so and so mumbling is dope, and it might be cool, but we need balance. We need some lyrical rappers to make hit records. So we need the Diddies out here. We need people that's going to executive produce and develop artists that can rap good but can make it palatable and make it sound good without dumbing it down.
I mean, but that goes back to artist development, though, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Diddy was big into artist development. And so when you had people, I mean, Making the Band is his artist development in the public view, right? And so what he did with all of those different artists to help them become superstars, we don't have that today. Like, we don't have true artist development today, right? We don't have a Diddy or a Berry Gordy or somebody like that who is developing artists to be true artists. People in the studio going, hey, no, the way you said that, that's not the way. Hey, the way that you did that, that's not the way. Hey, I need you to do this. I need you to do it over. I need you to sound like this. I need you to go over here, and I need you to practice this. I need you to run up that hill back and forth. I did an interview with a lady, Budden B. Rocker, right?
Okay.
Amazing talent. She shared this amazing story, which I had never heard of, that in Atlanta, there used to be this place called, what's it called? Artist Village. I think it was called like the Artist Village or something like that.
Who's over there? I can't
remember the person's name, but in this community,
like Divine Stevens.
Okay. In this community, it was her, TLC, Usher.
Oh, no, this is before, right? This is before then.
Yeah. Okay. So it was like a developmental community where they all lived there. They all were developed. They all had she was like, I'm trying to figure out why they got us running up and down this hill.
Mm-hmm.
She said, but then I understood that when we were performing on stage, we had the stamina. Diddy did that for his people, right?
Yeah.
We can see, you know, of course, making the band with their name is not in my head, right? Day 26 was one of my favorites because it was a guy group. I like guy groups. I was a singer growing up. I was in groups. So I like.
I know you sang, B.
Yeah, man. I used to. I used to a long time ago.
You did a little moves too.
Oh, we had the moves. We were singing the Boys to Men, the 112, the Jodeci's. Oh, with Shaz. Oh, yeah, we were singing all that. But they did that. I'm sure somebody got. A matter of fact, I was talking to two of the guys today, and I was like, "Look, we got to go to a Boys to Men concert. We ain't been to one in a long time. So when they announce their concert tour, we all gonna go again. So it's gonna be me and the singing group I used to be a part of. We're gonna all go to a Boys to Men concert. So that was dope. But Diddy did artist development, right? And that's the thing. He did it, regardless of how you may hate on Diddy, not like Diddy, or whatever the case. He developed his talent, and that he was really good at doing that. Now, you know,
we're talking about Joe Budden. How we got on this?
I know.
About Joe Budden.
We were talking about Joe Budden. Well, first we were talking about Kendrick and watch the.
I'm just saying, give Joe Budden his respect, because he.
I'm gonna give it to him as
a rapper.
I give it to him.
He was very, very nice.
He was.
I'll say that much.
I'm not gonna say he wasn't. When you did the demonstration of in this ball of rappers, then yeah, he's in there. I'll agree with that. So, but I think going back to Kendrick's, you know, Watch the Party Die, he had a lot of messages in there, and I think for independence is really just, and we kind of been talking about that before, right? Control the things that you can control. If you see negativity out in the world, be the positive that you want to see, right? The phrase, you know, be the change that you want to see.
It's corny, but it's so true, though.
It's corny, but it's
very true.
Be the change you want to see, right? You know, challenge the status quo. You know, be authentic in your music. Don't try to be something that you're not. What I did like about it was his direct to fan, though. I like that his direct to fan. It dropped right on Instagram. It didn't go to DSPs. It went straight to the fans. And I thought that was great. And I think that's a lesson in there for independent artists as well to, you know, sometimes you may have to bypass traditional platforms. Sometimes you may have to go direct to fans, which is why I love sites like Patreon and Substack, and where you can create an email list and then send music out to just those individuals, right? It's kind of like a perk of being a fan. You know, Ryan Leslie, to me, genius, right? Like, man's a super genius.
Mm-hmm.
It's the guy who kickstarted probably all of this direct to fan type of engagement, where he had, you know, the whole thing with the super phone, and he can get your phone number and your email, and that's how I got what's the name of the album? I want to say the Black Album, but that's not what it's called.
About Ryan Leslie album?
Yeah.
Oh, he had a couple albums come out.
Yeah, but there was one. I don't think the name's the Black Album though. But that's how I got that album. Was he sent out a message? It was like, "Hey, I'm releasing the album." Back, went out and bought it. But that is a great way. And I think a lot of times we, as artists, I think they rely so heavily on DSPs, and they just think, "Oh, well, once I just put my song in TuneCore and let it go out to DSPs, and that's great. Everything is in the world." I think there has to be a lot more that's done than just sending it into your TuneCore or your DistroKid, and that be how it gets out to the world. I think there has to be direct to fan engagement. I think sites like Bandcamp is a great way to have direct to fan engagement. Plus, you get to keep almost all the money that you get from Bandcamp. All right. And so when I released my album back in 2017, any money that I sold through Bandcamp came directly to me. Probably through, I think SoundCloud took a little bit, but Bandcamp was, that's there. And I think that because we rely on DSPs too much, and trust me, they are making we had this conversation, right? They are making a killing. They just talked about how, I forgot who the company was, invested just a whole lot of money into Spotify. The Spotify CEO just got $345 million, something like that. I got to go back and look at it. It wasn't one of the topics, but I happened to see, and I was like, oh, I got to go back and read that.
Yeah.
But
no, I think that that's a whole another conversation though for another day in terms
For
of
sure.
direct to fan and DSP.
For
Because
sure.
I'm a believer in both. I believe
I believe both.
you got to have a fan base first of all. So when you bypass DSPs, I think you're kind of thinking small because you got to give
Mm-hmm.
the non-fans a chance to become fans.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to make it accessible, to the people, and the people that really rock with you. They can come participate on a higher level financially.
Yeah.
But you got to give them a chance to. You can't just. But again, what do I know? I'm out here like the rest of y'all trying to make it, man. So what do I know? You know what I'm saying? But,
no, I agree. I think you have to still put your music out on DSPs, right? That's still like our videos still go to YouTube, right? Even though the people in the community get it first and foremost. You will always get it first and foremost. Any special programs that we offer, you would get it first. Now, those special programs don't go out to YouTube. They stay within the community. But interviews and this podcast episode itself will eventually go to YouTube because YouTube is the biggest platform for video. So it would be crazy if we didn't put this on YouTube to gain new subscribers and new viewers of the Indie Unplugged. That would be crazy if we didn't do that. And so absolutely they got to put it out on DSPs. What I'm saying is that if I only relied on just the DSPs and not try to do anything else to engage my fans, to interact with my fans, to give them special things, I think they're missing the boat if they don't do extra stuff for their fans in that situation for their music that they're going to be releasing. I think there's both. Both. You can do both, right?
Both of them.
Both. Right? You can do both.
I'm with that, man. I'm with that, Brian.
You can do both.
I'm down with that.
Let's talk Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Man, it was crazy. Now, this article actually came out August 24th or something like that, and I didn't even know it.
I saw the headline.
Yeah, I didn't even know it. I just happened to see it, and I was like,
I didn't read it. I didn't dig into it, but I saw the headline. I think I might have saw a few people talk about it in clips a little bit, but I didn't really dig into it though.
Yeah,
and I saw it on a list of topics. Like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, oh, so supposedly Michael Jackson's $600 million catalog sale to Sony Music receives official court approval, and Michael's mom was like, nah, what are you trying to do? You're trying to sell his catalog to Bactus? Wasn't he trying to? Didn't he own Sony a little?
The publishing side.
Yeah, the publishing side, right?
It's Sony ATV.
It's so crazy that it's going back. This $600 million going back to something. Wow. But anyway, whole conspiracy, right? That's all conspiracy right there. But the court said no, Miss Jackson. Sorry, Miss Jackson. you cannot appeal this.
Mm-hmm.
And what was so crazy when I read the article, it said that the executors of the estate had broad. What was the exact words? Oh my gosh, because the exact words, and I think that's what people have to be. They have to look into when you have. What did it say? Let me see. So it said the 3-judge panel rejected Katherine Jackson's position, writing that Michael's will gives the executors broad powers to manage estate property while the estate remains in probate. Broad powers, which means they can literally almost do anything. Now, I'm not an attorney, right? We know that, right? Almost anything they want to do.
Yeah.
And just because she's the mom,
I think when you got all those moving parts like Michael Jackson did, it's a mess.
Wow.
It's a mess. But I will say though, just to bring it back home to the independent level, like build your catalog, man. Build your catalog and have a plan for it. Have a plan for it if you should pass away.
Mm-hmm.
Be real specific about it. And I'm sure Michael Jackson did, but I guess it's not working out as like the mom,
because it's in probate.
Yeah.
And because it's in probate, and it's not out of probate, which means once it gets out of probate, then it goes into the trust. Because the executors have broad powers, they can do whatever needs to take place until
Michael Jackson passed away like
15
years ago.
Was it 2009?
Yeah, 2009.
Yes.
15 years ago. So,
and it's still because of like taxes and some other stuff, right? But
Yeah.
but still, I think as you're talking about the importance of independence is to the ability to own your own catalog when you have the ability to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Own your own catalog. Music ownership is important, but knowing what to do with that music when you have ownership is critically important because you hear the thing, you need to get ownership of your masters.
Yep.
But if you have ownership of your masters, but you're not doing anything with them, what good is having ownership of your masters if you don't know how to use those masters to continuously bring in income, right? Okay, you could seek out sync possibilities, have those your songs in commercials and TV and in films. You could license those out for certain different things. You could do a lot of different things if you know how to use your masters correctly. So the phrase when people are like, "Oh, I own my masters," well, what's it doing for you?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. They're just sitting in a piece of paper somewhere, or a CD, but I own them. But it is the value of ownership because once somebody else has ownership of it, they dictate what happens. They can control, in this case, whether the sale happens to Sony or not. Nope, not Ms. Jackson.
Yeah.
Even though his will may say certain things. Now, I'm not an attorney, right? I don't know all about wills, stuff like that. Right?
I feel like not to be conspiracy theorist, but I mean, it's been 15 years and it's still not settled. So it's like,
still,
is that powers that be intentionally holding things up, all these dragging along,
probably
so that the executor can kind of like do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, we talk about attorney fees. Talk about people are milking draining the estate. All these years down the line,
milking it. You mean since 2009, right? It's Michael Jackson's estate has been in probate since his death in 2009, largely due to ongoing tax disputes with the IRS. Y'all can't settle them tax disputes?
I'm saying
for 15 years.
I'm saying conspiracy theory.
15 years.
Let's kill this man. I'm not saying that it happened, but let's kill this man and let's milk his estate dry till we get what we want out of it, and then just kind of move on to the next.
I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'll put it out there publicly. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I always think
Dr.
about
Conrad. Was he in on it?
How? Come on now.
Did he go to jail, Dr. Conrad, or no?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know. Got to fact check it. I don't know.
I think he might have went to jail. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, man, we're gonna hold it up in court for all these years. We're gonna milk attorney fees, and then we're gonna sell it. We're gonna steal it we're gonna sell it to so and so at whatever price we want to. Let her get that, and then we're gonna tax that. We're gonna make her fight for that a little bit. So we're gonna pretty much make hundreds of millions off Michael Jackson.
Bruh. So ongoing tax disputes. Like, what do you mean? With the IRS? How?
Yeah.
For 15 years? It says when probate eventually closes, the entire estate will be transferred to the trust, naming Jackson's 3 children as the principal beneficiaries and Catherine as a lifetime beneficiary of a sub-trust, which will revert to the main trust after she passes, right? And so there's a main trust, there's a sub-trust. Once she passes, and that sub-trust will revert into the main trust.
And that's even more that's even more evil to think about, because how much longer is she gonna be around? Are they trying to wait it out? It's just a lot of
stuff. A lot of crazy stuff.
Just weird.
A lot of crazy stuff. But I think one of the things that you said, which is super important, is legacy planning. Right. I think as creatives, musicians, producers, you need to think about your children. Right. You're making music that's going to last forever. But what's going to happen to that music once you pass?
What if a little song you put out didn't think nothing of? What if 30 years from now it blows up and you dead and gone?
Right. Where does that go?
Somebody discovers it, because we don't know what the landscape is gonna be like in 50 years.
We don't,
because it's so crazy. I don't even know. Of course, music is still gonna be listened to. People will enjoy it, but business wise, what is it gonna be? Is everybody gonna have their own music? Like, imagine a world where like you had to make your own music. Think about it though.
Right.
How many songs get released today?
Oh my gosh.
Is making music gonna be like making bacon and eggs in the morning?
And I think that's why they get those.
That's where it's going to. It seems like
Suno and Udio, right?
It seems like it's going there now. It's going, because I think with this AI stuff,
wake up.
They devalue music so little to where it's like how you got an Instagram page, right? Everybody got an album. Right? Seriously, think about this, man. Everybody just got to pay. Okay, I make a song real quick. Let me just say something here, and it's gonna mix and master. It's gonna come out in 5 minutes, and
Right.
I got my song for today. I don't know where it's going.
That'd be crazy.
Hey, man,
we got the Jetsons music system.
Don't be surprised.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't be surprised. That's why I get it. Why they're getting this good. Take care of your business now. Get your stuff protected legally.
Yep.
Copyright it, register it with a performance rights organization. Your publishing, make sure that's intact. When you die, make sure all this stuff is transferred properly or whatever, and just because you want your stuff to live forever and you want it to be treated right.
That's right.
Imagine this too. Imagine if your stuff go unclaimed and just blow up later, and somebody else take credit for it.
It goes into the black box.
In 50 years,
right? Isn't that where?
Yeah, but what if somebody else claims it? Don't say this is mine. Or just redoes it, and you have nobody to fight for you.
Nobody can fight for you because you didn't go through the proper process of registering your music. Identifying who owns it. And that's the thing. Legacy, and that's the thing I don't think we think about. Music is, even though it's an intangible thing, like you can't touch music, right? It's intangible, right? But it absolutely is something that lasts forever. So
you can touch these albums.
I mean, you can touch the album cover, but you can't touch the song. It's you know what I mean? Yeah, you can touch the album with a keyboard or the TV or the cup or whatever the case. But it's going to last forever, right? This cup is going to, if somehow it probably decompose somewhere, right? But music is going to last. Your song is going to last forever. So you have to protect it for your children, your children's children, your children's children's children.
Those words that you put together, that's truly
it's going to last.
The actual writing, the words, and the way they're put together. Not just the words, but the way they're uniquely placed together is valuable and is hold something. And if you don't protect it, again,
that's right.
Somebody might just redo your song in 100 years.
It's so crazy. So I was going through making clips today for all the different podcasts and interview episodes and stuff like that, right? So I was making clips for the Tammy Latrell interview, and her interview starts off with, they didn't really know who I was. They were like, "Who is this girl? Where's she coming from?"
Yeah.
And they were like, with the whole Whitney Houston song that she wrote, and they said they originally came to an agreement because she still owned the copyright, which is super important, right? She owned the copyright, but Whitney had the song, had already recorded it, already put it out. Didn't even tell the songwriters they had put it out. Didn't even inform, didn't even let them know. Didn't even put them on the thing. Said, "Hey, these are the songwriters." And they went back, was like, "We own the copyright to this."
Yeah.
What?
She got all the leverage.
What? All the leverage. She had all the leverage because she said, "Yeah, we gave Whitney 10%, and then we just divided up the rest between the songwriters." It was like.
And side note, y'all. Side note, when y'all don't do business with the producers or don't do business with the songwriters, and this is for independent artists, or even clearing a sample. Once you put it out, you have no leverage at that point, because if it starts to do, you put it out and it starts to gain some traction, you have no leverage because they can shut you down unless you agree to their terms. And a lot of those terms won't be favorable.
I can't remember the actual phrase. Tammy knows the phrase. You may know the phrase. It's a letter of...
A cease and desist?
No. It's a letter of... It's like a cease and desist, but it's a letter of... y'all know. Put it in the comments. Put it somewhere. I can't remember. It's a letter. They have to send a certain letter.
Okay.
That says it's like a cease and desist letter, but it's an actual term.
Okay.
I can see. I'm gonna look it up. But it's a term. It's a letter that they send to.
Because you sample songs and you think I'm just gonna put it out, and you can, but you lose leverage. Whereas if you try to do business beforehand, these songwriters, these sample holders, they may be happy just to get anything. They may be happy just to kind of get in on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you approach them then, you got a little bit of leverage because you are helping them out by using their work and using their song. And so now y'all can be more even and favorable. Once you put it out and it does something, now they got you to the fire now. And you got to agree to their terms or get it shut down.
That's right.
So just side note, do business ahead of time. if you want to have leverage. Otherwise, you ain't gonna have no leverage.
You ain't gonna have no leverage. I mean, yeah, it's probably a cease and desist, but I thought it was called something else. Something, y'all know. If y'all publishing people, lawyers, copyright people, y'all tell me exactly what it is.
See, if it was live, they could answer right away.
Right. We got to do a live. We got to do a couple live ones one day.
We got to do a live show. We got to do a live podcast.
Oh, yeah, that'll be dope.
In front of an audience. That's something that I think we need to work on.
How you want to do that? Oh, so we could talk about that. Like, yeah, that'll be dope.
Yeah, we're going to do it. It's coming. We're going to do a live show at some point where we do this in front of y'all, take questions. Maybe have a couple. We should have a couple guests slide through.
We should actually do that.
Oh, for
sure. Oh yeah, for sure.
Sure,
that's coming. But I think the bottom line is you got to make sure you do good business and make sure your business is in order. So stuff like this doesn't happen, right? For me, I was just surprised that the executors were just two dudes, John McClane and not John McClane. John McClane is a dude from Die Hard, but
Bruce Willis. That's hilarious.
Right. But it's John. Man, where these dudes' names at? Oh, John. No, it is John McClane. Look, it is. It's John Branca and John McClane had the right to broker while Michael Jackson's estate remains in probate. So Bruce Willis out here got Michael Jackson's John McClane.
And that's funny.
That's right. All right, let's talk about oh my gosh, bro. How 50 artists. I don't know if it's true.
I was gonna say.
Let me just say that first.
I could not find any confirmation.
Let me say that first.
I looked around, I could not find any confirmation. And somebody on Twitter said, who are the 50 artists? And nobody can name the 50 artists. So take this with a grain of salt.
It's a rumor mill right here, ladies and gentlemen. But Ray Daniels, who we actually had on the show, I interviewed him, right? Put on Twitter that Atlantic Records dropped 50 artists. This was last week. I think. When did this come out? I'm like, what? Come on now. This was September 11th. Okay. Yeah, last week. Right? Yeah. He said, I heard Atlantic Records dropped 50 artists today. Now, here's what I would say. Does Ray have insider information that we probably don't have? Of course.
Wasn't he an executive?
Of course, he was an executive. Yeah. Right? At Atlantic and Warner and Atlantic, Warner, Epic, maybe those three. But I know some of those. So he has insider information that we probably won't get. That we probably don't have, we're not privy to. All right. He says, so I heard Atlantic Records dropped 50 artists today. Let go of all label partners. Crazy. They let go of all label partners. Rumor was most of them were black. The exodus is about to begin. When they say they're going to save money, this is how they do it. This is how they do. But anyway, 50 artists? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know, man. Here's the thing, though, because I think that a lot of folks are concluding that they don't need major labels. And and this is the Indie Unplugged, but I think that, like, when you think about independent artists, you got a couple different kind. You got independent artists that came out the mud and built themselves up and just were independent.
Right.
Then you got artists who were signed to a major label and just decided to go independent afterwards.
Right.
Two different classes of artists.
Two different classes right there.
Because I feel like a label is good for nothing else but to build you up. Because if you can like get popular and build a brand, you can walk away with your brand.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Even if they might, of course, in the contract, you got to make sure that you stipulate, what's yours. Because a lot of times, you don't even own your social media handles when you sign to a label. That's crazy. You got to get a whole new social media. Yeah. That's but as long as you got a halfway decent deal where you can walk away with your name, even. Sometimes you don't even have your name. But if you can walk away with your name and stuff, you won. Regardless. Because think about it. As long as you leave better than what you came.
Right.
And a lot of times you get with a record label, they'll invest millions into your or hundreds of thousands into your artistry, and you can parlay that into something. It's all about hustling and about knowing how to play the game. So don't knock signing with a label, at least for a short term of time, because they can take you from here to, if you listen to this, you can see it from a lower level to a higher level. And that higher level you can walk away from. There's so many dope artists who are independent now that are doing well because they came off a label.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Lots of them, man. And like the Game is independent now. Yellow Wolf is independent. And these people, they do very well.
They
for themselves.
They do numbers.
Do numbers.
Yes, sir.
But they were signed to Interscope Records.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, independent is cool, but don't knock signing with a label.
For sure.
Even if the leverage is not in your favor, if you can parlay that and work hard, work the system. I remember stories about Cameron and Dipset.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we talked about it on the show or not, but I think we might have. But how they went into Def Jam offices and were nagging people and making sure their records got work. They got an office up there to make sure, work the system, get a good manager, get a good team, and take advantage of being on the label as long as you're there. So when you do get dropped, you walk away with something.
That's right. Man, I was telling people, I went live. Matter of fact, I'm going to go live right after this interview.
Okay.
Right on Instagram or maybe TikTok. I haven't decided which one I want to go live on yet.
Okay.
But I kind of want to go live on each one after a podcast or interview to kind of just talk about, hey, y'all should check it out. We talked about X, Y, and Z. We did this, blah, 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 right? But I talked about that. I said, sometimes if you're looking to push what you got, you may need to go rent out a studio space for a week. Save up your bread, go do that. That way you can play your music, have people come in, and you can start to get noticed because people are coming in and out of the studio. They're like, yo, who's in that room? Okay, let me see what's going on. And you can start to make connections that way.
That's smart, Brian.
That's
a good tip.
Yeah, figure out how to do it. And you could probably work out a deal. You can get a studio. Maybe if it's not for a week, just a couple of days, right? But go to a studio and figure that, or as in that case, rent out an office for a week. You know what I'm saying? Go take that method and rent out their office and be there, right? I think that's how a lot of people back in the day, who was I listening to?
I think Russ did that. It didn't work out for him. He rented a studio, I think it was Tree Sound or somewhere, or Patchwork. I think Lil Wayne was going to be there or Drake was going to be there. And they rented the studio out for it way above what they could afford. and nobody showed up there. But they were there for hours and days, paying all this money. But shout out to them for their ambition,
Yeah, now you got to make sure somebody coming through. I think
I think they had bad intelligence,
right?
Bad information.
I think you're gonna have to negotiate with the owners of the studio. Like, hey, this is what I want to do. Here's the money I want to pay. When is the time when artists come in and it's busy. You got to network and figure out how to maneuver and maximize that. They probably had bad information on that. That's funny. But you got to do what it takes. Right. And I think that's the major thing is it. And so that's the debate. Do I stay independent or do I go to a major record label? Right. And yes, it is the Indie Unplugged, but it is a platform to help you make the best decisions for your career. Only you can make that decision. We can just give you, here's some things to think about. Right. And so that is the deal. Do I stay independent? There are pros and cons to staying independent. Do I go to a record label? There are pros and cons to going to a record label. Now, have I ever been signed to a record label? No, right? Do I know people who are signed to record labels? Yes. And I know people who are signed to record labels and who were signed to record labels that are now independent. And I see both sides, right? As an example, there's a guy right now that I know, Matt B, blowing it up, killing it. Right? Matt is killing it. I mean, he's out in LA on an independent level, making crazy moves, bro. I mean, crazy. Now he's a Grammy nominated singer-songwriter, right?
Dope.
When we first met, he wasn't. I predicted it. I almost predicted it for him. I was like, Matt, within the next couple of years, it's gonna happen, bro. You give it 3 years, and almost 3 years, that's when it happened. But there are pros and cons, right? When you go to a major record label, you got resources, financial resources, people resources, technological resources at your command to do what it is that you need to do. Distribution. As an independent, yeah, we got DSPs, but they got some other type of distribution that exists. They got the SDSP secret.
Yeah, press a button.
Right? They can press a button and it goes out to other things that it goes out to. Like one of the things that I found when I was putting on my album in 2017, because I did a lot of research for that album, and I put as an independent putting out an album. I'm like, how can I maximize this thing? Did I make a lot of money? No. Did I make some? Some. But
why don't you still promote it, man? You still be pushing
look,
it, man.
I need to come out. I'm trying to come out with another one.
I'm just saying, but if it's good, still put it out. You know,
my wife was like, "Yo, we need to re-release this." I was like, maybe I could.
Why not, man?
Back in 27, I'm gonna add, if I do, I'm gonna add like 1 or 2 songs to it though. That way, it's
or just promote it as is. Just promote it as
That's
is.
True.
If it's dope enough, promote it as is. It is dope
though. I gotta let you. I don't think I ever let you hear it.
Hey man, if it's dope, go ahead. I gotta let you hear that thing, man.
It's dope though.
Don't listen.
It is dope.
To Brian and everybody, man. When you put stuff out in the world, I heard Tyler the Creator say this, man.
I heard him say it too.
Promote your stuff, man. Come on.
Yeah.
And my thing is somebody needs it. Somebody out there's gonna connect with it. Promote that thing. Promote that thing, and then be an example. We telling these people, what they should do.
For sure.
Let's show them.
Oh man, I promoted the album 2017, 18, 19, 20. I promoted it for 5 years. And just been, hey, check out the album.
Pick your favorite song on there and make a little visualizer, slap it on there as if it just came out yesterday.
Maybe we should do some videos for it. We never did music videos for it.
Oh, come on, man.
But I think we may need to do some music videos for it. But anyway, but no, I appreciate that. I think it's that, right? What are the pros and cons? It's like when you work at a company. That when I saw this post, I was like, oh, they're employees of a company that let go 50 people at any moment, any time without notice. Because if you work in a at-will state, which Georgia is an at-will state, which means the company can terminate and lay off without reason.
For sure.
They don't have to come to you and say, hey, we're going to give you 2 weeks notice. They can say, hey, today's your last day. Wow. Yeah. Without cause. And they don't have to tell you why. That's so crazy. And most states are starting to be more at will employment states. But that's how I took it. I was like, oh, these are at will artists. Because artists, so here's the thing. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. Record labels, it's kind of like record labels will sign people just so somebody else can't sign them. And then they'll shelf them for 3 years.
That's crazy. Right?
And they never put out any material ever. But they signed, I'm signed to Def Jam. I'm signed to, well, I'm not saying Def Jam is one, but I'm signed to Arista.
Yeah, and I'm not saying you should go out and just take the first record deal that you come to or just any record deal. I'm just saying in general, if done properly, you can parlay being signed to a forever career.
For sure.
If you just get one halfway hit record, you can be set for life if you know how to play
That's right.
it. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You know how to play it. You know how to work the system. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't really mad at the labels, but I do think that you gotta move like an entrepreneur, move like an independent, even when you're signed.
Even when you sign,
have a plan, have a team, have strategy, and get involved. Get involved, and see what can happen.
Yeah, because you can't put all your eggs in one basket. It's like, okay, I'm signed to the record label. That's just gonna be it, right? That's all I'm gonna do. It's like you still gotta think and move like an independent, right? Still engage. Now they may control when and where and how you put out music. Because you're signed, right?
Yeah.
But are there other things that you can probably do? But I do agree with the fact that once you get into that label system and they start to work and promote and distribute and you come out of that, you're going to be set.
Yeah.
You're absolutely going to be, if you know how to do it right? If you understand business, if you understand financial management, and how to use your money effectively instead of just going out there and just, I want to buy the biggest house and buy the nicest cars and spend all the money. And then when it's over, it's like, yo, wait a minute. Let me go put this application in McDonald's real quick. Now, nothing wrong with working at McDonald's. I went there today. I usually don't eat McDonald's, but me and the wife went there today. Went there this morning for the breakfast.
I get them McRib.
Hey, McRib used to be good, but I don't eat those anymore.
They come out with the McRib, I think, once a year.
Once a year. But with anything, as independents, there's risk and reward.
Absolutely.
Right? There's pros and cons. And you always have to weigh those two.
Mm-hmm.
Is staying independent, is that what I want? Does having more creative control and freedom over my music, is that what I want? Or am I willing to give up some of that to get into the label system, to then have that promotion, to have that distribution, so that I can maximize my gifts in that system, right?
Maximize build your fan base up, your popularity up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Try to get as much data as you can while you can. You know?
That's right. And as you're in there working and as you're in there, and that's the thing, as you're building up that fan base and you're doing the things you need to do, you're now positioning yourself to have more leverage so that now you can say, because in these contracts, they got some crazy stuff,
They do.
Crazy stuff about name and likeness. Like, you know, like with the whole Tina Turner, Tina's like, I ain't got nothing but my name. And I'm like, sometimes you don't even get that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have written in there that they own the name and likeness of the, yeah. Matter of fact, this ain't even a topic, bro, but I've got to mention it because we've been talking about it. Me and the wife and one of my closest homies, we've been talking about it. How can Salt and Pepper say that DJ Spinderella was not part of the group? How, in my head, since inception of, now, when I say inception of Salt and Pepper, I'm talking about when Salt and Pepper started to become a name that people recognize, right? I don't care when you were formed, right? Because you got groups who were formed and had members here, like Boyz II Men actually had another member before then. The dude who was in As Yet, Mark was a part of that group before he went to As Yet. It's like, well, wait, I'm not talking about that because Boyz II Men wasn't known back then when he was a part of the group. I'm talking about when you started to become known. How can you say DJ Spinderella was not a part of Salt and Pepper? That's like saying Jam Master Jay is not part of Run DMC.
That's true.
His name is not in Run DMC, but you absolutely know without a shadow of a doubt that Jam Master Jay, the DJ, is part of Run DMC.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, bro, this was irking my nerves. Me and my wife sat here last week and started and watched the whole thing. I'm like,
the drink champs?
No. It was like a little documentary thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, how? The audacity.
What documentary was? I gotta watch that.
I got to show it to you. I got to give it to you. I can't remember the name of it, but it was talking about the Salt and Pepper story. And it started to come out with Spinderella saying that, yeah, she was right on along and that she was never part of the group. They said she was never part of the group. They felt that the name Spinderella, once again, going back to name and likeness and what's in these contracts and understanding your role within the music business, what you own and what you don't, what's yours, what's not. They said that the name Spinderella was a name that they could plug anybody into.
Didn't they have another DJ Spinderella?
They did.
Okay.
They had if you look at the very first Salt and Pepper album cover, there's a different Spinderella there. Yeah. Right? But that's when Salt and Pepper, they weren't really known. I mean, you dropped your first album. Okay. You're just now being introduced to the world. But before the album came out,
I gotta watch that for myself.
I
will say this though. Look, I think that if Salt and Pepper wouldn't perform without Spinderella, I think they would still do okay. You know what I'm saying?
But you can't.
Well, I'm just saying if they did, like it ain't like they're gonna be like, where's Spinderella at? You know what I'm saying?
That's like Run DMC performing without Jam Master Jay. I mean, they do it today, but Jam Master Jay is no longer.
They made songs about Jam Master Jay. I ain't never heard one song about Spinderella. Maybe they did.
Bro, Spinderella's in almost every song.
No, but they talked about Jam Master Jay in the song.
Yes.
Like Run DMC and Jam Master. They wrote verses about him.
Yes.
You know
they talked about Spinderella in their songs. Spinderella is in the she's in the video. She's rapping on one of the songs. What's Salt and Pepper? Bruh. Anyway, that's a different
I'm just
thing.
Playing devil's advocate, man.
You're gonna have to look.
I love Spinderella. I'm just saying, like, it ain't. I wouldn't make that equivalent to Jam Master Jay because Jam Master Jay was literally like Run DMC and Jam Master Jay.
Bruh, I'm telling you, Salt and Pepper had. They mentioned Salt and DJ
Jam Master
Spinderella.
Jay gave them their swag. They dressed like Jam Master Jay. They literally dressed like him.
They did.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
But I'm telling you, Yeah.
I want to watch.
You gotta watch. Yeah, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch the thing. Anyway,
I ain't saying they didn't do it. I'm not saying they didn't do it dirty. I'm just saying
it's all out there. It's all.
I wouldn't. You know,
bro. It's all out there. They got they have it on record with Salt and Pepper saying it. They got it on record with DJ Spinderella saying it. They got it on record where they split in 2019. They got it on record when they actually came back and had a conversation about it. Oh yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, that's
like Guy. Guy had a different guy in the group on the album cover. Damian Hall replaced the other guy. Aaron Hall's little brother came after the fact. But on the whole first album, All the Songs We Love, that's a different dude singing. It's not Damian. It's not Damian Hall singing on there. That's a different dude on the album cover, even.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, but you wouldn't say that dude was not part of the group.
No, but Damian Hall is the one we all grew to know and love because he was with him all these years.
That's true.
You know
and Spinderella's been with him all these since she was 16.
So I don't know.
She's 53 now.
But the bottom line is you have to like have your stuff in order. We're talking about independent, right?
Yeah.
You have to,
anyway.
when you sign to a major label, make sure you know who owns what and what's what. And to parlay that into your post-label career after that. You know,
that's right.
Have your plan together. I think Russ talked about it all the time, how he was independent, signed with the label, found out how it works, and now he's working himself as an independent. You know, he knows the radio contacts. He knows how to shoot a video. He learned from the highest standard.
That's right.
So you do that as well.
That's right.
Speaking of...
Man, that really ground my gears, though, when I heard that. I was like, what? Y'all crazy. But anyway.
Speaking of learning how stuff works, this phone right here, social media, you know, you got to learn how... Because I wanted to talk about the Shannon Sharpe thing. Because Shannon Sharpe, as you all know, I think it was on September 11th. He went live... Right, yeah. Some other kind of towers was being knocked down that day. He was knocking something else down. Not to make light. That's
exactly what I was thinking.
Not to make light of September 11th, but so forgive me if that came off a little insensitive. But he was having sex and accidentally went live, and for the whole world to hear. I'm gonna give it to you. I ain't gonna repeat the whole thing. Yeah, that's my Michelle. But anyway, he went live. Here's the thing, though. These kind of things happen.
No, sir. No, look, not going live on IG.
I almost went live on IG a couple of times. I was literally. I think I might have did it and I caught myself. Because if you're there, I don't know how it is now, but if you're on,
let me get my phone over here.
If you're on
Instagram, you got to be in the app, bro.
Yeah, he might have been scrolling.
Nah, this.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Live?
Nah.
See?
Yeah. But look how many steps you got to go, right? I got to open up Instagram. I got to click the little plus.
A lot of times,
I got to click live, and I got to click the button.
These things do that, though, a lot of times. All I'm saying is that my biggest fear, I live in fear of stuff. I've done stuff before.
I've butt dialed people.
By accident.
I've butt dialed a person. I haven't done it lately because... the way my phone is set up, I can't really butt dial you like that. There's too many. Here's my thing. There's too many steps involved. There's too many steps involved. I came home, went to the room, threw my phone on the bed. It reminded me like, you ever see those? It's not a meme. It's like like an enactment. Where you have people who, like, if you want to go to the salon and you like walk in and you get tripped, and then you all of a sudden you swipe your card and then you're like in the thing and you're getting your hair done. And you're like, how'd I get here? Or you're like, somebody trip you and they swipe your card. You're like standing in line to giving you some food and now you're sitting at the table eating. It's like, oh, to me that's how that felt. It felt like one of those. There's no way you can throw your phone.
So you think he might have did it on purpose,
nigga?
I'm
gonna use that word
to
bruh.
Dispel his gay rumors,
bruh. I think he did it to dispel the gay rumors. I think he did it for product placement because when he did the apology,
he's advertising his little sex pills.
And he had all three of them up nicely, displayed. Like, yeah, these row something, whatever.
But when you do that, he did risk his ESPN job, which I think
now go ahead.
In the grand scheme of things. It's a good job to have, but I think he'll be okay without it.
He's gonna be absolutely okay,
but
without ESPN.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think it was on purpose because, and plus, it's kind of embarrassing the way he's moaning. He's like, bro, that's not flattering, bro. That's kind of embarrassing,
bro. I don't think.
So do you think he's having sex at all? You think it was all act? You think he was doing
Some
it?
people say it was an act.
So he wasn't even doing it.
Some people say he wasn't even doing it. Some people say it was an act.
Because you did say Shannon. Oh, Shannon, it's all yours, Shannon.
Right. Some people said it was an act. But my thing is,
wow. So Brian think it was.
I understand.
It was a setup.
I think it was a setup, man. I think it was intentional. I think it was a play. I think it was a grab for visibility, product placement. This is Nikki, who I follow on Instagram because she's a great social media marketer. Right? She did social media marketing for. I'm
just telling you.
For my man.
I literally. I don't know if I went live or almost went live. It happened to me before. The live thing. It did happen to me before.
Look, where's this post from Nikki? Shannon Sharpe took our money after his accident, right? And she breaks it down.
I saw the t-shirts. I think that's him making the best out of
Over 300,000 were watching live on YouTube, and his page is monetized. The first thing he did was promote DraftKings and Roe brand deals, especially with how many times Unc promoted the Roe pills. They had merch. People were joining the channel's YouTube memberships, and the super chats were going crazy. It's like when something hits the fan, you can leverage it on your own platform, which he did. He leveraged the heck out of this. Nah, I think this was how much did she say he made? If she he said I can almost bet he made over 6 figures.
No. I just went live in 2 steps right here. No. He was
how?
You hit the plus button right there and you hit live, bro.
Are you live? No. Hit the button at the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah. Hit that. Nope. Hit that. Yep. Now you live. And it gives you a countdown.
That's a couple seconds, bro. That's literally no.
But here's the thing.
B.
It's steps though.
Yeah, but it happens.
That's the thing.
That's how you butt dial. It happens in steps. You open your phone up.
Nah. There's too many steps in that.
He could have been one. He could have had this page. No. B. No. It's possible.
He said he didn't have Instagram up. He didn't know how to work it. How to work live. But it's too many. But what I'm saying is yes. So let's say my phone is like this, right? I mean, y'all can see it. We are watching. So somehow, some body part, right? Because can my shirt do it? Okay, my shirt can do it, right? I still got to press this button. I can't go live right here on the screen. I still got to press the plus button. No,
but from here though, from your profile, the plus at the top, you hit the plus at the top.
No. What phone you got?
2 iPhone 15. 3.
Where? I don't have. Oh, from your your profile.
1, 2, 1. Hit live.
No,
2.
But
it's 3. See,
but the steps are the same.
Back.
No.
You can do
No. The steps are the same, bro. Look.
I think y'all are unfairly.
No. Regardless of
Shannon Sharpe.
No, sir. We know how technology works. Shannon know how it works. Look, regardless if I'm here, regardless if I hit this plus sign or that plus sign, that's first step is opening Instagram, right? That's step number 1. If I'm on my profile, I hit this plus or this plus. That's step number 2. So I hit that plus, right? You can do it here, or you can do it here. That's step 2. If I do it from the plus in my profile at the top, I still click that, and I still have to hit live. I still have to hit the go live button.
Yeah.
So it's 3 steps no matter which way you do it.
But you're acting like you can't do it in succession randomly. If you just got your phone, you literally engage and it's possible.
Nah, they said this dude picked up the phone. I didn't see this part where they said he picked up the phone and still looked at it and was like, and put it down. Now I don't know if that's true or not. I don't think I saw
the
that
phone
part.
did move though, but I thought it moved because they was on the bed.
Nah, they said
the phone moved, but it went to the floor. So I think to the bed.
So here's my thing.
I'm shooting him some bail.
I don't think he did it on accident.
I think it was.
I don't think he did it on accident. I just don't. And the reason why I don't is there's too many steps involved. That's why.
I don't know about that, B.
That's why I think he didn't. Now, butt dial, I can understand because when you butt dial a person, I don't butt dial random people. I butt dial people who are like in my immediate contact. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't go to a rando.
I butt dial random people.
I didn't butt dial randos because I have like quick shortcuts.
I FaceTime folks randomly before that I didn't mean to do before. That I haven't even talked to. Like, how do I, So
Now I've done that when I clicked the wrong person.
Because I'm always paranoid because I've done it a few times. I'm paranoid about. I've texted the group chat stuff that they shouldn't have never seen before.
Yeah, I've done that.
I've done it. I
did it today.
I've called people. You know, I wasn't supposed to call before, and I know people. I know a guy. He's an artist, not real popular, but he's popular. He's been on some major stuff, but I can name him, and most people wouldn't know because he's not famous, but. He uploaded a sex tape to his Instagram, and it stayed there for like an hour and a half. On full sex tape, him giving it to his girlfriend, giving it to her, and I'm like, "What in the world is happening here?"
He did it on accident. He said he didn't know he did it.
We didn't really talk. I don't know him that well, so I didn't really talk about it. But I know it came down. I don't know how.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I know another guy that put, and I know this is an accident because he's a wholesome guy. He accidentally posted his significant other's bare behind.
Yeah.
And it was going immediately.
Yeah, but I understand because you're in the process of making a post.
So what I'm saying is like these things happen, bro.
Yeah, I understand it if you're in the app and you're already doing something in the app. Like today, I had a mishap today. But I texted the wrong. I was texting Major 7, right? I was well, anyway, I was texting I was actually texting Tammy Latrell.
Okay.
And I was in Major 7's chat, texting him.
Okay.
And I was like, "Oh, hey, bro, disregard this." He was like, for sure, because it was a text meant for her. Now I've done that on absolutely several occasions because I'm in the actual application, and I'm texting you from the application. So sometimes I may choose the wrong person. I FaceTime people wrong because I'm actually in the FaceTime app, and I didn't mean to do that.
What happens is, if your phone is open in general, you can just get into an app.
True.
And that's step one.
But true.
Again, and if you're intimate, you're not thinking about you moving around. Step 2, step 3, it can happen. Trust me, it can happen. It can. I went live.
I'll let you give him grace to say that it was an accident. I don't think it's an accident.
Plus, I think we got to give people benefit of the doubt, man. You can't just tell somebody. If he said he didn't do it, then take his word for it.
Well, he also said that he was hacked.
No. He didn't. That was his. Did you see him on his live on the nightcap? Again, this is why it's important to have a team. This is what I want to talk about. He had a team, thankfully, together, and because I've been this with my brother Willpower for a while, I've had access to all his social media, his passwords, where I will post stuff on his behalf. And what happened was his assistant Jordan turned the live off. It wasn't Shannon. If it wasn't for Jordan, we would have had more. Jordan turned it, and then Jordan immediately put that post up saying he was hacked. Shannon didn't say that. His assistant did it, which I thought was pretty smart. I'm just gonna put this out here right now. It was hacked. His team did that. That's why it's important to have a team, have an admin staff to help you run your stuff. Because if he didn't have a team in place, admin staff, it would have went up longer.
So who say they were hacked?
His assistant posted that.
So beware my at Shannon Sharpe Instagram, and I'm sure this is what his assistant posted.
Yeah, he was hacked
immediately. Was hacked this morning.
And then Shannon later that night admitted, I didn't type that. It wasn't hacked. He came clean.
Okay, I threw my phone in the bed, engaged in an activity. I did not know IG Live. I've never turned IG Live on, so I don't know how it works. And all of a sudden, my other phone started going off.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So
that's why it's important you ought to have a team. Have a team in place to, like I said, I've been on teams.
I'll let you give him grace.
I've been on teams before where I had, because even if he didn't have an assistant had access to his page, it would have went on longer and longer and longer. And
for sure.
But his assistant cut it off right away.
Yep. No, I'm sure. I just don't personally believe that it was an accident.
Oh, but you did say earlier in the show you're a conspiracy guy.
I'm a conspiracy guy.
So
I don't believe he did it because this is a Jesse Smollett move right here. Like,
listen, if he said he did it, I believe him because I know that kind of stuff happens. I've seen it happen before.
Yeah, but I think he did it to save. For me, I think he did it to save face because of maybe the repercussions that were going to take place.
No.
Because he came out immediately. I apologize to my 31-year-old daughter, my other 31-year-old daughter, my 30-year-old daughter, to ESPN, to the Shay Shay crew, the Shay Shay audience, the nightcap audience. He came out and apologized to everybody, right? And it's like, I think once things, and I think that's the thing, right? Is as independents, when we do have things that happen, how do we deal with it, right? How do we come out and deal? Do we take accountability? Which he did.
But you said
right?
It was set up though, Brian.
I think he just did it on purpose. I think he literally did it on purpose. I do.
But you're talking now as if it wasn't on purpose, just to give people advice on how to handle it at home.
No. So what I'm saying is that when things happen that are deemed to be accidents or mishaps, how do you deal with it? Even if it's something that you meant to do, like the Ray J and Kim Kardashian thing. You meant to do that, right? But how you deal with it, because these types of things can still hit a person's brand, right? They can hit a person. I mean, right now, ESPN could have said, Shannon, we're going to fire you for that. Like, we don't like how what you did is a representation of our brand as ESPN. They could have, right? I don't think they did, but they could have done that. They could have pulled endorsement deals because of that. And so that's, for me, that's what's the most important for independence, is saying when situations happen that could impact your brand, how are you going to deal with it? Because we have two sides to our life. We have the professional side and the personal side. And a lot of times the personal side can impact the professional side. And I think that's the point that I'm making. I still believe that he did it on purpose, but how he handled it, I think, was appropriate for dealing with the situation that
if he wasn't by accident,
that he caused. I mean, he could have, and even if he did, even if it was on purpose, I don't think he's ever going to come out and admit that was on purpose. If he did it on purpose, because now
he can't do it.
He can't do it.
But I don't think it was on purpose.
But regardless if we debate whether he did it on purpose or not, I don't think
Shannon ever went live in general that I know of. Period.
Yeah, he said he doesn't know how to work IG Live.
I'm saying, but his assistant probably could have went live before. But I'm saying I don't think that his brand ever had him go live before ever.
Yeah, probably not on IG.
Not that I can think of. Not that I remember. Because do I follow Shannon Sharpe? I might not follow him, but I know I get the notifications when people are going live and stuff. But at any rate, man, my takeaway was have a team, because he had a team that helped him navigate through that when it went down. Because if he hadn't had a team, it would have got worse. Especially if you're not the most savvy person on technology and on your phones. And that's with anything. Whatever you're not good at, bring people along that does know how to operate those things. Man.
Yeah, I think that's important. I think even if you bring a team of people on, you still got to at least know something about how whatever it is that you're having your team do, you still have to have some oversight of that. Now, we're not really debating whether he did it on purpose or not.
We kind of did a little bit, but
we did. I mean, but that wasn't
and it's for y'all to decide.
But that wasn't the real point, right?
Let us know in the comments. Did he do it or not?
Did he do it
on purpose or not?
Did he do it? Right, but
he did it all right. He was doing it. Or did he do it?
Or did he do it?
Because Brian think it might be an act. It might have been a script. So, Shannon.
There was a lot of people that thought he would.
I'm gonna give this to you.
I'm gonna get this to you, baby. Give it to you. Right.
Hey, moan like a wounded dog.
He did. It was hilarious.
Those memes on Black Twitter, man. Those memes were the funniest things.
I saw the ones that you posted on your on the Brian Onrea podcast. Matter of fact, let's talk about that for a minute. If y'all don't know, right? Brian is a co-host for the Indie Unplugged, right? But Brian also has the Brian Onrea podcast, right? Make sure you go check it out, right? Subscribe on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube. He talks a lot more in depth about some of these topics. Maybe some topics that we probably won't talk about on the Indie Unplugged, right?
And you never know. It may be on Indie Unplugged one day, man.
It may.
You never know.
Be on the lookout, though.
Be on the lookout, man.
Shout out. We may have a different setup, and it may be the Brian Onrea podcast on We Create Music TV. That maybe we'll talk about that. But the point is, make sure you support. He has a podcast that he does, right? He has generously given his time to the Indie Unplugged to be part of this platform. But I wholeheartedly support him in the Brian Onrea podcast and what he's doing. Y'all will see, I post up clips and I like all of the things that he posts up and, comment, at times. And
appreciate it.
I'm not a real big comment on social media. I need to comment a whole lot more, but
That's another story. But yeah, we got to get recreate music TV to engage a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure.
In the overall sphere thing, I need to do it all my stuff too. I need to be more engaging more, because that's one of the strategies to like put yourself out there to engage in conversations that are related to what you got going on. So if y'all got stuff going on, you know, whatever kind of music you do, follow those pages, or don't follow them, at least keep track of them and engage with that community, so people can come say, oh, okay, well, let me see what you got to offer. Let me go to your page. So,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's
always engage. So I got to do more of that. And I know Brian said you got to do more of that too.
Right.
So we all should do more of that for our brand.
Right. Man, but once again, we ain't trying to tell you what to do.
Just give you the information.
Just give me the information.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all make your own decisions and choices. You know what I'm saying?
Like Donald Trump made a choice to say, I hate Taylor Swift.
He did.
on Twitter.
Boy, I can imagine his face when he said that. Oh, I hate Taylor Swift. And like, boy, that boy was.
And just know, y'all, just understand, like, when you take positions, because Taylor Swift did come out and say, this wasn't on the list, but Taylor Swift came out and endorsed Kamala Harris.
Yep.
And the backlash came from it. You know, she's one of the biggest artists in the world, if not the biggest artist in the world. And people think that, oh, it's going to hurt her brand. And I think she's going to be fine. She might get people mad, but
she may.
But again, like we said before, you got to consider these things when you come out there.
Yeah.
You know, and then maybe on a small level, maybe you live in a small town and you endorse the local treasurer. Maybe the main treasurer might have beef with you,
right?
In that town. You gotta be aware of who you endorse and be ready to stand on it though, because now Taylor got to stand. Because now this fool went on. And by the way, like, is that something y'all want? A former president, a current presidential candidate, to go on Twitter talking about he hates somebody?
Right. I mean, like the way he did it was like, come caps. On now. So this is childish.
Just something to think about. But that happened, man. And
but the crazy thing is, Scooter came out and was like, "But I agree with Taylor though. I support Kamala as well." Scooter Braun.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, you know, her and Scooter hate each other. Boy, they got like the biggest feud going on. But he came out and was like, "Yeah, I agree. I support Kamala as well."
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we're not trying to tell you what to do.
Yeah, just be aware. Again, these next couple of months, from September, October, November, keep in mind it's going to get crazy. And for artists out there, you gotta, you don't gotta take a stand, but you gotta be aware that people gonna want you to take a stand, and if you do, folks not gonna on either side gonna be mad at you.
That's right.
So just another example. We're gonna keep pointing them out to you. That's the highest example. Taylor Swift and Donald Trump going at it, but I think she'd be fine. And you gotta know that you gotta know that you'll be fine if you decide to take whatever position. You gotta have, if they're really your fans, they rock with you regardless.
That's right.
So
the man B, once again.
Yes, sir. It's been an Indie Unplugged, baby.
Indie Unplugged, you know what I mean? Okay, y'all peace, y'all.
Peace.
Y'all have a good night. We out.